And welcome back to Home Track Heroes, getting ready for the restart, as it has been an exciting race so far, but now we got the final 8 laps, 32 down, 8 to go. Let's see if anyone has anything for that 18 car of Lane Sunholm.
Anything can happen when you double them up side by side, and it's going to give Colton Price a shot on the outside groove to, make Lane earn it, at least for the first couple of laps. Sunholm on the inside, it's Price on the outside as they'll accelerate the line off the corner.
And then the lap car of Cameron Iverson sitting inside row 2, Cole Raridan, Nat Barber, Mike Jensen, your top 5. So let's see what that lap car has effect on the looks like 97 and Nat Barber, and that's going to hold him up a little bit, allow Mike Jensen to get through. And Colton Price hanging tough on the outside of your leader, Lane Sunholm. 7 laps to go this time by. Let's see what the 14 car has.
That's exactly what we were talking about. Price making him work for it here after the caution flag. Sunholm very, very good, though, on the bottom at 1 and 2, and that's going to get him a little bit of breathing room. Price back on the attack through 3 and 4, and watch him close up that gap from center corner off, but it's Sunholm reestablishing his lead.
Yeah, and racers have a very long-term memory, and Cole Raridan's back to the back bumper of Colton Price, so we'll see if that can lead to any sort of extra action here. Going down into turn number 3, coming up on just 5 laps to go. Lane Sunholm still looks pretty untouchable out front.
Yeah, that race for second's going to get awfully interesting. Here comes Raridan right in on the back of Price, and he's taking a very, very narrow entrance into 1. He's almost up to the rear bumper coming out of 2. Back straight away, trying to pull even.
Playing a lot nicer than I would have guessed is Cole Raridan, as he got moved out of the way of the second spot about 10 laps before this by Colton Price, and he's racing very cleanly, trying to get back by the 14, which is going to allow the 521 of Mike Jensen to come in and battle for third.
Let's see if Mikey can pull off another podium, as he has been Mr. Consistent in that regard.
As Lane Sunholm coming by, just 3 laps to go this time across the stripe. It looks like we have some battling just outside the top 5. That is Xander Peters on the inside of Dylan Bewald, and he's just going to slide it in there. Hey, my car's bigger than yours. Get out of my way. But we'll see what Dylan Bewald has for the outside of that 29 car.
Well, a little bit of white paint or a little bit of red paint will look good down the side of either one of those. Sliding up and through, there goes Peters, and, well, Bewald doesn't think too much of it.
Yeah, Xander Peters, you saw down there in turn 1 when we cut to this battle. He dove it deep down onto the inside of Bewald, and I don't think Bewald liked that too much, and I can't really blame him, as you see Xander Peters get fired back up, hopefully be able to continue and finish out these last 3 laps, but that's going to set up a pretty interesting restart for Lane Sunholm once again.
Again, Price really made him work for it, as there's the move to the inside, and here they come off the corner, kind of using him as leverage down the back straightaway.
That's almost a side draft, right? You can get enough draft momentum in these cars.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
And there goes the 69 around off the bumper of Bewald. Bewald being sent to the back of the field for that contact, which I don't think he's really going to complain too much at that point after he got used up like the way he did.
You know, right?
So 1 to go. 3 laps remaining in the BECU mini stock main event. Colton Price, he was able to hang tough for a few laps last time. If he can last just a little bit longer on the outside of Lane Sunholm, we might have something for him coming to the line. Let's see what Colton Price has. You see Cole Raridan there in the inside row number 2. Mike Jensen to the outside, and Nat Barber, your same top 5 all race long.
We've seen some fantastic starts and restarts here on Home Track Heroes since we've had the show on. And now it's Colton Price's turn to try to pull the rabbit out of his hat in this very last one. Green back out, and it looks like Sunholm got a much better run off the forward this time.
Yeah, he's going to clear Colton Price going into turn number 1, which is huge. Not going to allow Colton to fight back on the outside at all. And Mike Jensen able to work around Cole Raridan for third. Let's see if Mikey has anything to say for that second spot of Colton Price.
Price right up to the rear bumper of Sunholm through 3 and 4. It is not over by any means, although again, Sunholm gets into 1 and 2 a little bit better. They'll see the white flag coming off the 4th corner this time by. Watch Price close from center corner off.
And ask Cole Raridan, we know Colton Price is not afraid to use that bumper, so if he can catch Lane, he might just turn him enough to get him loose and try to get home, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch that 18 car as Lane goes down the back straightaway for one last time, coming around turns 3 and 4.
Aloha also means goodbye, and that's what Lane Sunholm says in the very final lap as he'll roll off a 4, checkered flag out, Sunholm, Price, and Jensen, as we'll get a word with your top 3 down on the podium.
We've done this a few times over the years, Lane, and it never gets old, does it?
No, it never gets old. We're actually making it slower and slower every week by putting stock parts on to race tomorrow with these guys. I was burning the brakes out real bad. Then Colton come out of nowhere in the end. I'm like, oh boy.
You held them off, and you know what? It wasn't an easy race there. I mean, there towards the middle of the race, you did open up a pretty good lead, but you had to battle to get the lead to begin with.
Well, like I said, we had stock brakes on. These guys worked their ass off all week long to do the motor, the tranny, the throw bearing, everything, and then the brakes. Brakes were last.
Colton, great race. Lane, you just couldn't quite get to him at the end, but a strong second place performance.
I told him there back in the pits before we came out, I said, I'm coming. This is a longer race than we're normally running, and I'm not going to give this one to you easy, but he always races me clean, so I wasn't going to stick a nose into him to get him out of the way. But, yeah, I'm just glad to be here. We're still battling heating issues. I saw 260 before we went to that last restart. But, I don't know, we'll get it figured out, and hopefully it'll be a lot better next time.
Heck of a battle. Let's talk about the last lap. The yellow came out, you took advantage of it, and made a great pass there to end up on the podium.
Yeah, the spotter's telling me just be there, be ready, and just stuck it in there, and she stuck and cleared them and just went.
It's a lot of fun to win on Summer Showdown weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first time ever, so pretty happy. You know, you're in a season into this, in the mini stocks, and I got great help that's supporting me, and you know, I couldn't do it without them.
And thank you, Kelly Hale, down there again on the interviews this weekend.
He was tired of looking like the Great Pumpkin, so he switched shirts in between interviews. I don't know if you caught that or not.
So we're going to move on to the Evergreen Legends main event. 1 of 2 on the weekend. You'll be able to catch the next one next week on the Summer Showdown 200 show. But tonight we have a big field of legends, and it's going to get really, really exciting really, really quick.
The anticipation for this main event coming into the weekend was off the charts for the Legends class. They can't wait to get after it. Let's tell you who's in the field.
Yeah, very similar to the mini stocks. We got a ton of out-of-towners. On the front row, we got the 54 of Trace Thompson. Is outside the 25B, Jaron Giannini.
Row number 2, Brandon Cole in the 25X, and it's Billy Weber, who's been a podium machine here lately in number 28.
Row number 3 is made up by the 12 of Jordan Halloway, and is outside the 4 of Parker Stevens.
4th row, Kyle Lang starts on the inside. He's in car 33. Next to him, the 2B of Tanner Bennett.
Starting 9th and 10th is the 30 of Nick Carey, and his outside the 25, the Max Power Law machine of Bryant Carlson.
Back to row number 6, where you've got the 09 of Cole Alton. Chad Sinner starting 12th on this field. Watch for the 11C to try to make his way through.
And in the newly wrapped 98, that is Aaron Flett, sponsored by Kent Collision Center. To his outside, the 43 of Dylan Wolf.
Back another row, 15 of Kurt Boyle, sponsored by Absolute Auto Care. To his outside in the LB Motorsports number 10, it's Chris Thompson.
Then we got the 36 of Robert Clark. To his outside, the 2 of Jeff Mueller.
Go back another row, Ricky Arnold, the 11R in the Rev Up Energy sponsored car. Jacob Hayter, the 36H, will be next to him.
And starting 21st and 22nd on the field is the 7Z of Zach Reel, and is outside the Absolute Auto Care of Gig Harbor, the 76 Corey Boyle.
Old school here, but if I remember right, Zach Reel, Brandon Reel relative.
Could be. I don't know.
He is. This I know. I just don't remember which. Kid, cousin, something like that, nephew. Great-grandbaby, whatever. Green flag out here on the A main for the Legends. They go 30 times around.
Yep, they do. So 2 30-lap main events for them on the weekend. They don't get a 40-lap feature. They're not special enough. But we put on a great show with these Evergreen Legends. They've been side-by-side for the lead the entire first lap. That is Trace Thompson in the 25B of Jaron Giannini, as it has been a huge field of legends the entire weekend. The B main event earlier today gave us great racing action, but why not 3 wide for the lead?
Well, let's just stack them up 2 by 2, actually, like all next to each other as they're fighting throughout the field. This has been fantastic. Little short wheelbase twitchy cars. They're a lot to handle getting around as Thompson continues to hold it, but Giannini's thick and tough on the outside, and there's Billy Weber to second.
Yeah, Billy Weber's been so strong every single time he's come out in that black number 28 machine, as he's showing his strength early, as this is a very tough track for these legends, not only because of how hard they are to drive, but because of all the different angles of the track throughout it. You got the higher bank corners, the weird transitions going in and off the corners, and it makes it very tough for these.
They've got very short profile wheels and tires as well, as opposed to the big old tires. As you watch Weber take the lead going down into turn 1, nice move by Weber, but bigger the tire, easy it is to handle things like elevation changes, any kind of rut hump, etc., whatever it is. Little tire, little short tire, everything exacerbates into bigger feeling within the cockpit of the race car.
Yeah, and under hard braking, you ask any driver that runs here at Evergreen Speedway, there's a nice bump going into turn 1 and a nice bump going into turn 3, and when you're on heavy braking in these little cars, that can upset the car quickly. So this is a great 5-lap green flag run so far by these legends. With 22 of them out there, it's been very impressive to say the least.
So it's Weber, your leader, Thompson sitting in the second spot, and Giannini got down into the bottom to defend third. Right around his outside, trying to pick off the car number there, but he has been giving him nothing but grief. So Giannini threatening to fall backwards another spot as we are getting into this race. This will be 7 down, 23 remaining this time by.
Yeah, it looks like it's Parker Stevens in the Brandon Cole machine, with Brandon Cole battling there as well. So the two identical cars are teammates, so they're going to try to stay out of each other's wheels and not wreck another, as Parker Stevens won a couple main events earlier last time out. So that 4 car is strong. We know he can win it, as he's got a tough 3 cars to pass in front of him, though, as Billy Weber, Trace Thompson, Giannini.
Yeah, kind of pulled off his outside run and decided to tuck in and follow for a little bit. 30 laps, still a long time in these cars, and again, little short wheelbases, little short tires. One little bobble can really cost you a lot of track position, so there is something to be said for getting in line and making consistent laps and waiting for the guy ahead of you to either screw up or make him be perfect. As there we go, example once again, Giannini washes wide into the corner. Stevens to the inside, looking to take third.
Yeah, the 25 carried a little too much momentum into turn number 1, opened up the door for Parker Stevens, and he was ready for it and took full advantage of it. New third spot on the podium is Parker Stevens, and Brandon Cole trying to make his way in as well and get around Giannini. He's going to bring Bennett with him in that 2.
25 cars doing battle a little bit further back at the field as 10 in, 20 to go as race to the inside. There goes Stevens looking for second. Thompson strung out of the outside. Parker Stevens has got the 2 spot.
Yeah, you saw Parker get a little bit sideways off that corner. He was turning a little more right than left for a second, but he made it work. Hopefully he didn't use up too much of his tires early trying to get through the field, as he still has to hunt down and try to pass the 28 of Billy Weber.
I'll tell you what, Cole looks really strong in that 4th position. Look at the run he's got down the straightaway. He's looking for third, getting into turn number 1. He's going to slide up and forward and make that pass. So the team car is now 2 and 3.
Yeah, it looks like Trace Thompson, that yellow 54, is having a lot of trouble getting the power down off the corner. Looks like he's spinning the tires, hanging out very loose in that yellow car. Just cannot get enough drive off, and that's allowed the 2 cars in front of him to pass him. And now he's got a stack up of 6 cars behind him. So it is a very, very competitive field of legends, as we have 13 laps in, closing up on the halfway point very quickly.
Thompson needs to remember the road sign. Delays of over 5 vehicles. One must pull to the side as here comes Giannini trying to make the run in, and I believe that's Bennett right in behind him trying to pick up position also.
Yeah, we got the 2 of Bennett. That looks like it was the 30 of Nick Carey diving in as well. We also got the 12 of Holloway battling in there, and Chad Sinner. I don't think he's used to seeing that many cars in front of him, as he is battling around the 10th, 11th spot. So tough for Chad Sinner trying to battle these out-of-towners.
Billy Weber just wanted to keep it clean and green, and that just doesn't happen. His car facing the wrong direction, and caution flag is out. That's going to erase a gigantic lead for Billy Weber. Weber was on cruise control there, and now we're going to pack him up for a restart.
Yeah, that was Cole Alton that went around in the 09, so tough break for him. Another one of the out-of-towners, but good to see him get that straightened back out. No damage done, no harm done, which is the best part. But yeah, it's going to allow Parker Stevens, Brandon Cole, the 2 team cars, to close right in the back bumper of Billy Weber.
Right at the halfway point of this race, and by the way, this segment brought to you by Interstate Batteries, your all-battery center of Everett for all your battery needs, cars, trucks, vans, or electric vehicles. Interstate Batteries, your one stop for flashlights, cell phones, even key fob batteries. Visit Interstate Batteries in Everett.
That is the place to go to if you need any sort of battery.
Weed whacker, lawnmower, whatever. Middle of summer, you got to do a lot of that. Get your battery there.
Oh, yeah. As you could even put the battery in one of these cars as they go back green flag racing. Let's see what Parker Stevens has for Billy Weber. He's hanging tough on the outside, and they're going to try to just split Billy Weber, the 2 team cars, as they go down the back straightaway. as a little love tap there from the 4.
Yeah, just a little bit of a touch, and actually might cost Stevens as Cole was inside. The team cars now side by side for second, and give it to Cole. Said Cole looked awfully strong, and Stevens, be careful, don't whack-a-mole your teammate. That's a bad time.
Yeah, not just teammate, but also your car owner. That could get real ugly really quick if he does that. But the 4 looking very tough. Maybe a little bit hard for him to get going on cold tires, but once those tires warm up for him, he might be able to get around the 25 of Brandon Cole. He does at the line, trying to bring Trace Thompson along with him as they're side by side, even behind them.
And Thompson actually taking advantage here of that caution flag, moving back forward, kind of reassessed, and now he's back up into third. I'll tell you, the happiest camper there was Billy Weber, watching those cars go side by side. Hey guys, no, race each other, have fun, just let me go, buddy.
Exactly. I want no part of this. I want my lead back as he's trying to work it back up. Looks like Trace Thompson just squeezed in front of Brandon Cole for that third spot. Trace, we said he was getting really loose off the corner. It could have been a result of getting his tires a little too hot, so if he's able to cool those down under caution, make his car a little bit stronger, it is a tough pack behind from third on back. But meanwhile, up front, Parker Stevens run down your leader.
Yeah, your top 2 breaking away now from the rest of the pack as third on back go to war. Weber and Stevens by themselves in the first and second position, and it's Stevens actually closing the gap on Weber here. So we close in on the 10 remaining mark. Weber has been very, very good. But Parker Stevens, we know his caliber.
Oh, yeah. Parker was able to win the last 2 races he was here, as Billy Weber has won quite a few main events himself at Evergreen Speedway in 2021. So these are definitely the 2 best legend drivers we've had all year long. But it is a hungry pack behind them. Trace Thompson, Brandon Cole, looks like Tanner Bennett there as well, as they're going to get all sorts of squiggly going into the corner.
Oh, yeah, problems may abound. Here, car around and to a stop and take somebody with them. And what's with tires coming off in turn 2 here on Home Track Heroes today?
It has been a curse. So there goes Tanner Bennett around. He gets collected by the 43 of Dylan Wolf. Ripped that left front tire clean off. As looks like you saw maybe Brandon Cole get loose. Then Holloway had to check up. Then Gianni needed to check up. Then Chad Center checked up. As it was just the classic effect right there.
It shows you how hard these cars are to drive, though. That was very light contact that Bennett made, front bumper to rear bumper there, that got that car cattywampus to the point of going around, and then the tire goes bye-bye.
Yeah, big old accordion effect. It's tough to see, but that also just shows how close and how tight those drivers were running. That was third through about 8th, nose to tail, and when third place got a little bit loose, it affected the 8th place car. So hopefully they are both able to get those cars fixed and ready to go tomorrow, as they have another main event coming up for next week's show next Sunday. But tonight we have 10 laps remaining. Billy Weber and then the Stevens-Cole combo right behind him.
Hey, look at that. Nice move for third as Cole trying to get down. I actually thought he'd get the door closed on Thompson, but he didn't. Thompson, nice rally back on the inside as here comes Parker Stevens in on the backside of Billy Weber once again. Stevens not contending with his teammate and car owner. It is Stevens working over Weber.
Yeah, and that was a huge run that the 4-car had coming off the corners, able to get to the outside of Billy Weber for a moment, just not quite enough to hold on through turns 1 and 2. We'll see if he's able to get that same sort of run again, as Stevens is so strong off the corner, and Trace Thompson able to get back into third place, as there's a little crossover move, not quite going to pull it all the way off, is the 4 of Parker Stevens, as he's going to go around off the corner. Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
As that's going to create a parking lot down the back straightaway. Tons involved, and heartbreak city for Parker Stevens.
Let's watch it, because he had a monster run going into the turn. There's Weber, and Weber's coming down to try to get the door closed and just snaps around from the front. Strange spin, but again, tough race cars to drive. Very, very twitchy and carry too much speed with the wheel cranked the wrong direction at the wrong time, and that'll happen.
Yeah, you could just see how loose he was off the corner and just nowhere for the rest of the pack to go, because they're all running nose to tail. They're only looking the car in front of them, and it looks like Aaron Flett, a few other drivers involved, as we're going to ride on board with Chad Center, watching the 4-car go around, just gets loose and turns left, as it looks like Hader going for a ride in the dirt. We'll be back for the finish of the Legends main event after this.